trucking is an interesting job because it's actually fairly easy to stay on the radar. I mean, you see these raids that are happening around the country, and what's happening is, ICE is going into these chicken processing plants or these places that migrant workers, these houses or complexes where they tend to aggregate. A lot of charities are like, wait a second, we maybe they had sort of an open policy and they sort of pulled back because they don't want to get caught up in it. And so what's happened is they've also come, they're not congregating as much in these sort of like usual places. And what's happening is that trucking offers a really nice way to sort of get out of the way.
Right.
And I've heard a number of stories of where that is exactly what's taking place, is that they're driving team almost nonstop.
They're on the road, they're moving targets.
They're on the road, they're moving targets, and they're not, the worst thing that you could do if you're someone who's here that's not documented is to be in a place where the government's ICE is gonna go, and they're gonna go to the usual suspects. They're going to go to these, meat processing plants that you find them, these big agricultural fields where you find a lot of folks. That's where they're going to show because that's where they're able to get these big splashy raids.
Well, and we, and I'm curious to hear your opinion here. Last year was the first time we saw Road Check Week show up for a while.
It was, yeah.
Do you think that the immigration do you think people were more nervous about that, and therefore there were a lot more?
No, remember Road Check was under the Biden administration, and the Biden administration was not. Was definitely more accommodating.
Right.
And I don't think so. I think what happened at Road Check is that the capacity reset was already happening.
Right.
And I think because it was happening, I think a lot of drivers just didn't want to deal with the hassle. And like even if your truck is completely clean, like no, who wants to deal with the hassle of having someone inspect you? You're gonna, I think one out of every 5 trucks or something has gotten some type of citation.
Right.
Who wants to deal with that? It's like having to do a TSA.
Well,
like I'm not a terrorist. And when I go to the airport, the thing that's massively frustrating is having to get every part of my bags checked and patted down. Like I'm not a threat.
Well, also when you're not
but you know why that exists. And if you're a truck driver, why do you want to put up with it?
Also when you're not making a lot of money to begin with.
No.
Why would you put that?
The hassle's not worth it. So take the week off and not deal with it. I mean, so I think all of that is a factor, but I think the reason we saw it last year was the capacity map was resetting.
Yeah.